Hello everyone, welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. In this video, I will show you how you can use Google Calendar API with Node.js. So let's get started. To use Google Calendar API with any programming language, you need to first go to Google Cloud Platform and create a new project and download a service account JSON key and then enable Google Calendar API. So let's quickly do the steps. So we'll go to the Google Cloud Console. Here you can create a new project or select an existing project for this Google Calendar API uses. Then you see this hamburger icon. Here go to I am an admin and then go to service accounts. If you know how to create a service account and you have created one, then you can just simply download the JSON file by clicking on this create key button. But if you are new here, what you can do is you can go to create service account, give this service account a name, let's say testing Google Calendar API, put some description, hit create. It will ask for a role, let's say owner, continue. You click done here and you can say we have a new API accessing key is available to download. Click on this three vertical dots and click on create key. Select the JSON format, hit create. This will download a JSON file. Let first simply copy the JSON file and let me put it where I want to use it. Let me open Visual Studio Code. This JSON file look like this. It has a project ID, a private key ID, client email, client ID and stuff like that. The next thing we want to do is again go to the hamburger icon and go to API and go to the dashboard of the API. Here click on enable APIs and services. Search for calendar. You will see a enable button here since I already have enabled them. So you click on enable. Once you enable this API, now we can use that API for our uses. Let's go to the next step of the process, and that is to create a new Google Calendar and give access to the service account to add it and create new events into the calendar. So for that, what we will do is we will create a new calendar by clicking on this button. It says create new calendar. Give appropriate name. Select your time zone and hit create calendar. Once the calendar is created, just select the calendar that you want to use and click on these three vertical dots. Go to setting and sharing. Here you will see share with specific people. Click on add people. Now copy the client email from the downloaded JSON file of the service key. Paste that email here and select make changes to event. Hit send. Okay. Now we are ready to go with the Node.js part. Now let's open the project folder into Visual Studio Code. I will start with creating a new npm project by npm init method. Okay, then for this demonstration we will require two packages. Let's install them by npm install. One is Google APIs and second is .env to pass the confidential parameters to the script. I'll use save flag. Okay, so both the packages are installed now. I will create a new JavaScript file. Let's say Google calendar.js. Let's create a .env file to store our confidential information. Let's store the Google credential, Google service account credential into this .env file. Now what I will do, I will put this whole JSON file into a straight line. Just so that it works well and doesn't create any read or write error. Okay, let's save this. One more parameter we will need is calendar ID. So how you will get the calendar ID? You need to go to Google Calendar. Select the newly created Google Calendar. Go to setting of that calendar, and when you scroll down, you will see a integrate section, and inside that integrate section you will find a calendar ID. So copy that calendar ID and paste it here. So these are the two parameters, confidential parameters that we will require. It is always a good practice to use environment variables to pass the confidential parameter to the JavaScript file. The next thing is, I will copy paste the whole code that I have created for the demonstration purpose. Let's clear the terminal and I'll explain everything. So the first two lines requires the packages Google API and .env. This two line reads the confidential parameters, credential, Google service account credential and calendar ID from the .env file. This part is setting for Google Calendar so that we can call the API. So this is the object of this Google Calendar API, and with this object we call all the methods. This is the time zone for your Google Calendar. Sorry, not time zone but time offset. Okay, not the time zone but time offset. This is date. This is a simple function that converts current timestamp to Google Calendar understandable format. Let me demonstrate you the output of the function date time for calendar. Let me run this script. So you see, this is the format, standard format required by Google Calendar for the starting and ending date timestamp. The first function is, let me clear this and let me show the things in this side by side view so that you can understand it better. Let's see the first function, insert event. So insert event requires an event. I'll show you what the format of the event is. It calls the, I have put this into try catch. Always put your await, async await code into try catch. So any error occurs, you will be notified using the catch. So we call the API, wait for the response, check if the response is okay. If everything goes well, the event is inserted into the Google Calendar, then we return 1, otherwise we return 0. And on the other hand, if anything goes wrong, we get an error. We just print that error by saying error at insert event and we return 0. So this is the function we are going to use. For that we will need it requires this date time calendar. This date time calendar, as I showed you, it creates a start date and end date, and there is a 1 hour gap between the start and end. This event object, which is required by Google Calendar API to create new event, it has some parameters: a summary, which is required, description, which is optional, you can put it or you can drop it, start time and end time. Both start time and end time is object which has two parameter, date time, which is a date time format I showed you, and time zone. You can use your time zone. So since this is my time zone, and let's call the insert event by putting then and catch, since we are using async await. So let me call this. Okay, so it shows one output, means it has created the event successfully. Let's see it. Okay, this is the event. Okay, this is summary, this is the description. Now let's get the events. I will just comment this thing. So the next is to get all the event, or you can say get the list of all the events between two time frames, that is start time and end time. So again I have put the async await code into try catch. We will print the error and return 0, otherwise return the items. So this requires a start time and end time, and this API will return all the events within that time frame. So let's run this. So this is the start time and this is the end time. I'll pass this and let's see what happens. So this is a list of event, and this is the event. Now this is the event ID. The next step, or the next demonstration step, is to delete an event. In order to delete an event, we require event ID. So I'll paste the event ID. Again the function is same. It calls, I have put the code into try and catch. It calls the API. The API of this delete function doesn't return anything. It's empty string. So we compare it, and if everything goes well, we return 1, otherwise we return 0, and in case of error, we print the error. So let's test this. Okay, we got one response, means the error, event is deleted, and we can see here the event is deleted. So these are the 3 functions I thought I should share with you. These are very, very important if you want to use Google Calendar API. I hope you liked my video. If you have any problem running the same code, you can comment that things. I'll get back to you. Also, you will find the same code used in this demonstration on my GitHub, and the link for that will be in the description. See you in the next video. Peace.